technical difficulties and all of that. You done already. Jeez.
Fucking bullshit, bro.
Jeez. But it's all good, man. But as you were saying about this, fucking, what's his name there?
Game
Um,
and Jadakiss.
yeah, how could I forget? Yo, we gonna make it alone. What I have to say to that particular argument is just the fact that, like, yeah, you, yeah, Game might be able to make a good album and stuff like that, and games come up, in my opinion, in that time frame was kind of weird. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you ask me, like, it just like his how he was presented, like, he's kind of like a solo guy, and he kind of linked up with G Unit and all of that. It was really weird, you know what I mean? So, in my opinion, whereas Kiss was always a part of, the Locks and that type of movement, and his standalone songs or bars are usually referenced. Like, I don't really hear anybody referencing Game like that. Like, do you?
Yeah.
Like, so his bars alone are his testament. Like that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, okay, if you offer up as an artist some good albums, I'm cool with that. Great. Not my cup of tea, but that was your offering in the game. You know what I'm saying? No pun intended. But when people are picking articles of speech that you're saying, your bars, and those things alone, they're putting up against whole tracks, like whole albums. Nah, there's no question. What are we talking about? Like Game? Like I was just like, okay, cool. I mean, I ain't hating,
One
because
thing that
I
we gotta, but sorry to cut
mhm.
you off. Sorry, I'm sorry. I actually
Documentary
gotta
was
go.
a classic. Just want to say that
Which one?
the documentary.
It's a fucking classic, bro. But like, and another thing that we gotta understand too is like, bro, we don't know how heavy he is in like the West, right? Like, I mean, he
Yes,
might be way more heavier than Jadakiss is in the West, right? On the West Coast
hmm
and shit. So there's a lot of factors to play in when people bring up these topics. It kind of, especially nowadays, it's like, you know, you can't help but to hear the arguments of people because they're pretty valid points of like like so much to consider. And I mean, if we're talking charts, how many what did this guy's song do on the charts, right? When we go to Game, this is how we do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he had a feature on it. He had 50 on it,
that's
but
true.
that's a huge track. To this day, they play
Nobody
that.
listen. Nobody's denying that, but I'm just saying it's more of a testament to Game that he's being compared to Kiss, in my opinion.
Oh, like so you're saying that just the fact that yeah, because
Yeah, because that validates it.
this is only highlighted because somebody just decided to say, "Hey, what about Game and Jadakiss?" And then they started looking at the shit and they're like, "Okay, well maybe he got to." But before that, nobody was really regarding Game as like he wasn't in those conversations like Jadakiss is.
That's what I'm saying. No,
That is fair. I mean, even if you do want to factor in West Coast, East Coast, whatever, yeah, he hasn't really been in those conversations of rap. And you brought up a good point about the way that he was presented, but not only the way he was presented, but the way he presents himself. And then the trolling, and then the different kinds of things that he was talking about. And he was always making appearances, interviews. He was always talking a lot. He was doing this, that, and the third.
right.
So a lot of his musical ability took a back seat. So nobody was really paying attention to what the music was saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like
Right.
we forgot that Game had bars because before when he first came out with the documentary, before that he had a couple of freestyles and shit that were actually notable freestyles that were barsy, you know.
Mm,
Um, and then after the album, and then the drama with G Unit, everything just went into full blown. All right, publicity. I'm doing this.
son,
We're beefing. There's this. There's that. And then like the music got lost in the sauce. And so I feel like that's also a big part of why Game's music in comparison to Jadakiss. Not even in comparison to Jadakiss. Before we even compared to Jadakiss, just in general, his music just wasn't really being regarded like that.
And you know what? You bring up a really valid point, in my opinion, in regards of the validation of the West Coast. Like that's a really, 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 really big market, bro. And we're not really well now, so we're more exposed to it because of like Instagram and all this shit. You can go as far into the West wherever you really want to go musically anywhere. But they have their own thing, like, down there. And it's a lot of the reason why I personally think that, the whole Kendrick and Drake beef, whatever that music thing that happened, that's why, you know, it was, there was no question, unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? Because you're going up against a coast of music that is decades old, bro. And just for the sake of argument, we still got like a side, like a part of a coast, the East Coast, that is just figuring out their music, like not really known for music like that. And and we're still trying to figure out the sound, even though I think that we do have our own sound. But like, so you have to consider the West Coast because it's no slouch. You know what I mean? And that's a very good point that you brought up because yeah, like we listen to Big, we listen to this, all of that, but that's just because we're here over here. We're not tapped in over there like that. You might hear a 1-2 Adam 22 interview or something like that might pop up on your feed. You might tap in and see what they're saying, but like, I mean, the closest I've ever heard, West Coast integrating out here is like, when Whack 100 and, like I think it's like top five, they were all kind of like intermingling on the clubhouse things and stuff like that. These people were talking on, speaking on each other. But like outside of that, you know, and obviously the notable things that have happened in the West Coast, I'm not discrediting anything from that. But if that's what you want to use, and all the man has is bars that even, like his bars are standing alone against that, I'm cool with that because that that's just me though. But and obviously I'm biased, right? So maybe a West Coast person will say something different. But I like that you said that because I never considered it. My
Honestly, though,
bad.
yeah. I mean, listen, and mind you, this is just for the sake of argument and for the sake of conversation. I mean, I'm definitely going with Jadakiss, regardless if I had to. Like, I'm going with Jadakiss.
There's no
Just,
question.
just let me just make that clear. I'm going with Jadakiss
This
because
kid's
at
no
the end of the
question.
day, and then like Jadakiss doesn't have no red rose, right, white ceiling. Like he got no memes on him. You know what I'm saying? The game's got the red rose, white ceiling. Like 16 different times he said that same verse or whatever, and it's just like, so nah, bro. I feel like yeah, but it was interesting when people brought it up. It's only, and I think it's only because again, we just forgot that Game is actually not necessarily a slouch when it comes to like rapping. And then you
Right.
start thinking about it, and then you start thinking about the documentary and how pivotal that was. That when that dropped,
Yeah.
that was heavy out here, and not a lot
Yes.
of West Coast shit. Not a lot of West Coast shit is heavy out here like that. You know what I'm
After
saying?
Pac,
Except for
yeah.
him, and then after that, it was Nipsey that was heavy,
I was
and
gonna say
that's
I
it.
was gonna
Like
say after Pac and yes, Nipsey. Can't
after
forget about
Pac, to be honest, who else was heavy in the West Coast other than Game? When Game came out, he was heavy, and then after that,
right.
it was Nipsey, and that's it. So when
That is
you know
crazy
you're
that
doing,
that's the succession though. It's
it
crazy that
is.
that's the succession, right? Whereas Pac, then it's fucking the game, dog. Well, the game, Snoop, but obviously, but in that, just in the argument, like you know what I'm saying? Because I guess those guys were in and around the same time. But yeah, if you looking back, you'll probably see that
Who was
succession. You will see that like for this
who? So
argument,
sorry. Say that again.
uh, what's that? My bad. What's that?
Sorry, I'm hearing you twice and shit. What's
You're hearing me twice? let me turn off my
Yeah.
fan. Hold on. I can't even now I can't even hear you.
Oh my gosh, bro. I hope this got recorded, man. That shit sounds hilarious.
Yo, I can't even hear you though, bro.
Yo, fam, you're
Oh, now I.
laughing. You're laughing, and the laugh is echoing, dog. No, dog, this is hilarious.
I'm sorry. What to do?
Oh my gosh.
You have echo cancellation on? Okay.
No, I think it's good now.
Oh, okay.
I think it's good now.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's a little lower now though, but I can hear you.
Okay, okay. I know what I did. You hear me now, right?
Yeah.
Same volume. Okay. Yeah, man. So, yeah.
Shit.
I wonder if
Dog,
that will
now,
come up.
now, nah, nah. It just started fucking up again. It's not echoing, but now it's like
Hello?
slow or delayed.
Yo, what the fuck, man? You see, even that came through delayed. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on? Yo. Yo, this
Bro,
nigga
this is fucking
fucking
hilarious, bro.
stupid.
So,
So fucking stupid, bro. Yo, what the fuck?
so okay. All
I
right, now
don't
I can
fucking
hear
know,
you a
man.
little better. All right, now I can. All right, say something.
Yo,
Okay, okay,
fucking
okay.
Mike. This fucking Mike.
This guy
Holy.
sounds like fucking Megatron guy.
I, yo, I wonder. I wonder. I
Uh,
guess this is what get for talking shit about the game, huh? The West Coast came through.
the West Coast breeze came in and just yeah,
Tsunami the
dog.
Wi-Fi, huh? On both ends. That's hilarious, dog. The
Man,
other the other musical joint I heard obviously was, Jim Jones versus SP, and this is something we've spoken about before, but very
I
briefly.
think did we? I don't remember, but I heard that one come up. But I heard Jim Jones and not no. I don't want to say I heard about Jim Jones and I did see one about Jim Jones and Nas, which
That
I
one
think
too.
is which I think
That one
is
too.
obviously that
Come
one
on, no,
though.
like we can't do that though.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. There's a conversation, I guess, but I'm not gonna
With
do it because you know
Nas
me.
and Jim Jones?
Well, you no,
With
I'm saying
Nas and Jim Jones. Come
when
on,
I
bro.
say that there's a conversation,
Respectfully.
I don't know who I can really have that conversation with because remember, I had all of Jim Jones's albums. Like I was, you know me as a Jim
That's
Jones fan. I always regarded
that's
Jim
true.
Jones. I always regarded Jim Jones as the best in Dipset. To be honest with you,
Really?
I mean,
I didn't know that.
aside from Cam, but bro, his albums, I listened to more Jim Jones albums than I did to Cam albums. Cam, for me, it's SDE
Right.
and
A little bit
maybe
of
Kill
horse and carriage. A little
and
bit of horse and carriage.
SDE and Killer Season. No, Horse and Carriage was Confessions of Fire.
What did I say?
You said Horse and Carriage, which Horse and Carriage was
Is
Confessions
the
of Fire.
track on Confession of Fire? Yeah, the one where
But yeah, but for
where
me,
they
yeah, and
yeah.
Confessions of Fire is fire actually as well.
I have to
But
go back and listen to it.
Confessions of Fire is fire. It's bro. Confessions of Fire is actually fire. I'm not even gonna lie. But for me, when I think Cam album wise, I'm thinking SDE
Mm.
and Killer Season. pretty much. Those two. And then other than that, obviously Purple Haze, but to be honest with you, Purple Haze wasn't necessarily my favorite shit. Like it didn't
Yo,
Purple Haze for me didn't stand the test of time the way Killer Season did, and even SDE did.
SDE,
So
I started re-listening to that the other day. Fire album, though.
yeah, I
That's a
fuck, and it's the
fire album,
cam
fire
sound,
track.
and it's the cam that you want to hear, in my opinion.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? For me, I like that's the cam that I prefer to hear. Right? Fucking paid in full cam. Like that's where you still had that at that time, right?
Yeah. Public Enemy Cam, and there was it Crime Pays?
Nah, Public Enemy was fire, but that's still later. Like pre Dipset cam, bro. Like pre
Mm.
Dipset cam is the cam that I would probably say I prefer that cam. That's the cam that I feel like really was the standout artist in New York that was like certified. You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree.
Like
I
his
agree.
buzz was, and then obviously the buzz grew even more after Dipset came in, and then when he came out with and also
I was gonna
Come
say,
Home with Me,
yeah,
Come Home
right.
with Me as well. But with Jim Jones,
Classic.
to me, Jim Jones, he came out, and every single album that he has since he came out, it was like boom, 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 boom. Like it was like, and then by the time he got to, so he had On My Way to Church, then he had
Yeah, that's the one
Harlem,
with like Around My Way and shit like that.
that had Around My Way, it had
Right. Right.
Crunk Music, which was a big tune
Right.
in like it was out, you know what I'm saying? Then he
On My
had, what
Way
else
to
did he
Church
have on there?
track. That was big.
He had, and then he had, bro, he had a lot of joints. He had a joint with J.R. Ryder that was crazy on there.
Yeah.
Dog, he had, and it was very versatile.
Yeah, that's
Dog,
high school times for sure.
it was versatile. It was almost like a front. For me, I consider the On My Way to Church a pretty much front to back album. You just throw that on and and you're good. Like, and
I
then when he came out with the Harlem joint, the Harlem Diary of a Summer, then he had Summer with Miami.
mm,
Dog, I mean, every album he had something crazy, and then the next one, that's when he came with all of that shit. Ballin', Weatherman with Stack Bundles and Wheezy.
mm-hmm.
And that album, I listened to it the other day again because I used to go crazy on that album. But I listened to it the other day, I'm like, dog, this guy's body of work is absolutely no joke. What he get this, and when he does those, you know the thing about Jim Jones that I like when he does those, because Jim Jones for real is that like he's like, you know what he's like, bro?
Mm.
He's in a category of somebody like a Prodigy and a Pac, and these guys who are like, they love the streets so much, like the emotional part of it, like when they talk about the hood and like the and they're able to like really get, you know what I'm saying? Even if you, because
Sure.
the reason why I bring up Prodigy as well is like, because again, Prodigy isn't even necessary. Prodigy isn't from Queensbridge like that. You know what I'm saying? Like they let him rep it, but he didn't grow up there like that. Like he didn't grow up there like that with Havoc and Nas and Nori and all these guys who grew up there for real. But he repped it, like, and it's the same with Harlem with Jim Jones. Like, I mean, the other day when you seen Cam say, "Yo, where was you at? You're not really from here like that. Like you might be from over there in Harlem, but you're not really from the blocks like that or whatever he said." I don't know if he's from not from. I think he's from the Bronx. No, Jim Jones or some shit
I
like that.
can't remember, but I remember there was like, yeah, it's like your grandma lived over here.
Some
Like
exactly like your
she was
grandma
checking
lives
for us
here,
over
so
here.
they
Like, yeah, that's
exact.
according to
And
her.
then I think his grandma either passed or whatever, and then he had the apartment. So then
And he had the
everybody was
crib.
like, "Just kick it at my apartment." So they're like, "All right, bet." So we're just gonna kick it here. We have a place to kick it, and it kind of ended up like that. But then you see how he embodied it, like being somebody who didn't even grow up with these guys, but he came there and he felt the vibe and he embodied it. And I feel like you can hear that in his music, and you can hear that with guys like even Pop too. Pop wasn't originally from LA like that. He didn't grow up there
Yeah,
like
he's
that.
from New York, no?
He's from New York, and then he moved to Baltimore or some shit like that. I think he was around Baltimore for a while, and then he went out to fucking LA when he was still young, like, but he was like a late teen or some shit like that when he got out there or some shit like that. And then,
Yeah,
but yet
people move around.
Right.
That's
So
always an interesting thing. Well, okay, go
right,
ahead.
it's interesting, right? How you, but it's these guys that move around that start to embrace this shit even more. Like, you know what I'm saying? And people who really grew up there like that. It's like, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like
Hmm.
Jim Jones is one of those guys, and you hear that in his music. So, and I appreciate that. Like, I'm not even against somebody who, okay, you're repping Harlem like that because, but you know, and your grandma lived there. You wouldn't necessarily grow up there like that with your parents and all of that. But I don't care because I can hear it in the music, and and I understand that too because I moved around and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? Even though,
I think most people from the GTA really, if you're really like a Toronto man for real, like you've probably been lived everywhere, you've touched everywhere, you've been
true,
around,
you've been
you
around.
travel, you know what I
Yes,
mean. People see people. Dog, it's trust me. So
yeah.
I totally understand that because like when you hear a lot of like black stories and stuff like that, a man will be repping this hood, but like you'll hear or they'll have pictures of the man from this spot, and like this is where he grew up,
It's
and
like, oh, where's you? Where, I didn't see you in school. Where's you? Yo, this is
right,
the
what
school
school did you
everybody
go
went to.
to and
Where
all
did
of
you
that,
go to
right?
school?
Yes,
Like
yes,
shit like that, right? Like
a lot of
so
that.
when you
So
see that,
what
but
does it like? I don't. Does that even matter anymore? Like you know what I'm saying? Like because like that's always the thing, right? But does that even matter? Like, because if I'm making your spot look good, I may not necessarily be from there, but I'm making your thing look good. You just gotta let me rock.
yeah, and
But
it's like I don't think it matters, especially when you're talking about like, yo, dog, if my grandma's lived over there, like, I'm over there all the time. Like, what are we talking about here, bro? Like, how is that not valid enough where I can be repping it and I'm out here? You know what I mean? And I'm out here with y'all. I wasn't out here since I was in fucking diapers, but yo, dog, like, you know what I'm saying? I've been out here since whatever it was, 17, 18, or whatever the fuck how old he was when he kind of linked up with them. But not
hmm
to go too off topic, but I mean, that, like that, I put him in that category of guys who were able to embody, um, the vibe of a particular, hood or whatever, and put it in the music, and it have it resonate with everybody, like who's from any pretty much any hood, like, you know what I'm saying. And then when we talk about West Coast and East Coast, this and that, then he went and did that with Game and shit like that, you know what I mean. And he was repping the Bloods and shit like that, and he had the, I don't know, man, like like Jim, and then there's the fashion.
hmm
So when you really package everything up, right, and you get a Jim Jones, you're like, okay, bro. Like, if what are we talking about? Though, are we talking about because his music was fire too. So it's just like, yo, these are why these arguments get harder and harder for me. Because when I hear stuff, I try to be impartial about it, especially with artists that I listen to, both of them. Like, I listen to Nas too, but I listen to, it's almost like with Cam. I listen to Nas pre fucking. I listen to Nas pretty much up until Stillmatic. Up
okay,
until Stillmatic. So you got Illmatic, you got It Was Written, you got I Am, and then I think after that is Stillmatic. I might be missing one, but those are the albums that I'd be listening to from Nas. And after that, I don't really listen to him. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
Um, so obviously, I don't even really think they should be compared because they're too. But a lot of the argument a lot of people are saying is that they're not too far from the same age, but as far as when they came in the game, there's a pretty big gap there. So for that reason, I feel like they don't necessarily need to be compared like that. And he's a little younger than Nas. Like, like at the time, if Nas was like, how old was Jim Jones when he, like, there is a bit of a gap there. Like,
right,
so back then that gap would have justified the difference in sound and the
yes,
difference in everything and the difference in fashion. Fashion wasn't necessarily a thing when Nas was super red hot. Like, it wasn't really a thing. Everybody was wearing whatever thugged out clothes, baggy jeans, Tims. It wasn't nothing. And then when
he
Dipset
changed it.
came, Dipset came into the game and basically said, "Nah, we're making fashion a thing. Like, we're making this a thing." Um, I don't know who really would have done it before that, other than maybe a Fabulous or some shit like that. But even that, like, I don't know. But yeah, bro, I feel like there's better comparisons to make. Jim and Fabulous might even be a fucking comparison. I don't know, more
Nah,
than Jim and Nas.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
see. There's a lot of that's very interesting because like your argument, when something's presented to you at face value, you're just like the shock value of it. But it still requires a lot of analysis. You know what I mean? A lot of these things, that's why I call it sort of build here. Nothing's concrete yet. It ain't set in stone yet. You know what I mean? But
no doubt.
okay, for I think that off of that fact, I think that Nas has a better album kit. If like it's better, it's a better thing. Uh, if it, just at face value, you know what I'm saying. And if you're gonna give me a whole bunch of Nas albums and a whole bunch of Jim Jones albums, I'm probably gonna take the Nas joints just off top. But I do remember those times being at the Casanova spot and you're listening to Jim Jones and shit, and being in the yo dog, and them time being in the whip. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas really feeling like niggas is floating, driving, listen, bumping that track. I, Jim is no slouch, fam. This
No.
is Jim Jones is probably one of my favorite tracks from Jim Jones.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And like I constantly have that. I think I have that spun up like it's on my set list at some point, bro. Trust me,
Yeah,
Jim is not no slouch, but and he's done a lot of pivotal things. Like his fashion sense
yeah.
definitely changed. In my opinion, might have changed like how niggas were like that. He might have been the reason for the skinny jeans, bro.
He might have been, bro. He really might have been. I guess Joel. I guess you could throw Joel's in there kind of too, but I
Them
feel
two,
like
them
that might have
two.
been Jim that put him onto that. Like, to be honest with you, I don't know, but I know with Jim Jones, he was always the one who, even in the videos, you want to see what basically him and Cam were wearing. Like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, what are these niggas gonna fucking pull on? Like, what are these niggas gonna throw on? You know what I'm saying? Both of them, and yeah, bro. And then the workout shit too.
This is what I wanted to say too about Jim Jones. I don't know about what Nas is really doing like that, but as a consumer of music, I'm allowed to have an opinion. That's how I look at it. That's how I pre it. You get me? So I think that Jim Jones has done a real good job at keeping tapped in with the youths, fam. Like,
Yes.
and that youth, right? You remember that saying? I heard that saying. If from KRS-One, where it's like if a older person, if old people listen to young people, they become quicker amongst older people, amongst their circle, and if younger people listen to older people, they become quicker amongst their. You know what I'm saying? So I think
Right.
that that's what Jim Jones kind of embodies. You know, it's one thing to love music, it's one thing to be an artist, but it's one thing to want to cultivate that. Like you're really tapped in, and I'm not saying other artists don't do that, right? So, but that's just for. I just got to give him his flowers that I could, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Well,
because
that's the thing, and
it's
I'm glad you
tough.
brought that up, because that argument that I personally heard with the Nas and Jim Jones, more notably, was from a podcast where it's basically older heads who are talking to a couple of younger dudes, a couple of, you know what I'm saying, a couple of YNs, and these YNs is Jim Jones down to the like, bro, like, it's like there's no question for them. For them, it's like, what are we talking about here? Nobody's asking to throw on no Nas.
Right.
When you're at a fucking spot, nobody's saying throw on that Nas.
It's
Throw
so
on,
true.
right? And
Unless
that
you're
is
around your
true.
close dogs and y'all are on that level, you're like, yo, throw on that one mic, bro. Right now,
Yeah.
fam.
Yeah.
But it,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
that though.
But
Like
it's
it's
not.
that.
And it's
Like
or if it's even that, it might not even be that. it might even be just by yourself mostly. If you ask me, I don't throw on no Nas.
Them's are movies, bro. Them's are
Those
movies,
is for
bro.
you to sit back and watch and listen to by yeah, exactly. It's
Just
like a movie.
put yourself on the treadmill, run, and listen to them albums.
That's yes, yes,
Don't need to touch this. You can do your
yes,
whole, yes, 100%.
100%.
Movie. I heard this concept of albums that, if converted to movies, which ones would be good. Some of them Nas joints, not wouldn't be slouching on that.
Which
If you
one,
turn, if you like some of the Nas albums,
bro?
you know,
Some of them Nas albums, dog. If you turn Stillmatic into a movie, I don't even know. You know which one we talked about this before. Um, but I remember reading something about Hell on Earth.
yo,
When you Wikipedia
yo,
when you Wikipedia albums, it actually gives you some very interesting things that you may not have never known about the album. Try Wikipediaing some of these like classic rap albums and then see what it says, like, and how highly some of them are regarded, and it shows you like real accolades and who said what about it. And there was a couple of things about Hell on Earth that gave me goosebumps when I heard it, bro. So one person basically was just like, yo, basically if Martin Scorsese made a fucking rap album,
right.
that's Hell on Earth. I heard that, I was like, oh my fucking gosh, bro. And then another person, some I can't remember what kind of music critic it was or whatever, but they basically said one of the words that they used to describe the album was psychotic, bro. Psychotic. That
Wow.
gave me fucking chills, bro. Even right now, bro. I was like, oh my gosh, bro. And then when you hear
Yo,
it, you're like, it is, dog. It's actually fucking, it's psychotic.
uh, the first time firstly, shout out to HOE. And it's funny thing about that, every time I've bought that album, that shit has got scorched up. The sun burned it down. It got cracked. Man's lost it. Dog, bought that shit about 5 times. I had to stop buying them, dog. There's certain albums I don't play in my car, fam, because the car will mash up, dog. I cannot listen to Shine the Godfather in my car. Do you know how much times, brother? Do you know how many times I got drawn down listen to that album?
I can imagine.
More than 10 times, bro. I couldn't listen to it no more. So HOE, bro, fantastic. But what I wanted to say is, the first time I heard HNIC, fam, I almost cried, fam.
Oh my gosh. HNIC
The
can
whole,
never feel my pain, bro. My my fucking goodness, bro. Unbelievable.
I know we went far off the topic still, but you know,
I know we kind of veered off and got a little bit on some nerdy shit.
but
You
that's
know what I'm
good. Some
saying?
little techers. I heard
Yeah,
this the
but
other day.
nah.
This. Oh, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Nah, go ahead. No, but I think you guys. I guess we're gonna go on to another.
A little topic.
We're gonna go
Yeah,
on to
nah.
another topic, I guess.
Yeah, man, my bad. I was trying a little transition, but yeah, I heard this the other day on shout out to these niggas on Damn Internet, You Scary. What is the male equivalent to a bang? The female hairstyle. Caveat: it does not have to be hair related.
Okay, so the equivalent to a bang.
Yeah, so like a shorty, like they have the bangs over there. What's the male equivalent of that?
Probably something like hair dye.
Hmm.
Something like dyes, dyeing your hair or highlights. Um, maybe. Uh,
Yeah.
do bangs represent something? Like, do they say like like is it
They said that bangs. A good question, because they said that bangs are something shorties do when they're usually getting out of a relationship and they're about to switch up their hair. So they rock the bangs. for 11
Okay.
before they do their actual change up. That's just what I heard. I'm not sure. I don't really see no shorties like that where they had bangs where they went through. I've seen shorties change their hair color after a breakup, like full hair color, try some other shit, but yeah, the bang is like for me like when I was like a kid, you know. So, but they used it as like a relationship thing, a transitional relationship haircut for shorties generally.
Okay, well, if we're talking about transitional relationship shit for a dude, I guess the equivalent would be like maybe going from like braids to fucking a fade or some shit, or like cutting your dreads off. Like the other day, that the nigga DDG, he did it though because I think that he got to a certain amount of subscribers. But then coincidentally, he ended up in that situation with his shorty, right?
With the aerial
So
joint,
was that?
with Ariel.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess maybe that's because I've seen it before too. You know what I'm saying? Where niggas go through things in their life, a bunch of shit, breakups, this and that, and they went through all of that with the braids, and they're like, "Yo, all right, fuck this," and they cut them shits off, and the next thing you know, they broke out with a fade, right? So
Right.
I guess that would have to be if we're talking about the relationship part of it, but if we're
That
just
and then going
talking,
to the gym. I like that because you're cutting the hair. Like we're not gonna have no transition. You know, I, I gotta get rid of this. Like I gotta try something new. It's coming off. Dog. It's not gonna be like, oh, let me try it a little bit lower for a little bit. It's gone. Like
it's
this
gone.
didn't work. This didn't work. It's gone.
It didn't work. It's gone. Yeah, 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 yeah.
So I have a hood nigga question for you, bro.
Or what?
Say you're a hood nigga question for you. This is like a hood question, right? Say you're arguing with your homie, and they say to you, I see you like 90,000 times a week. Pause. How many actual times have you run into that person in a month?
Sorry, you're gonna have to repeat that still.
All right, all right, all right. So you're arguing with your homie, right?
Right.
And in the argument, homie's like, "Yo, I see you like 90,000 times a week." Pause, right? How many actual times have you ran into that person in a month? This is like a trick question, really. There's no real good answer.
Yeah. That.
Like I see you all the time, fam. What are you talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? I see you like 90,000 times a week. Like, how many actual times do you think they ran into each other a month? Because I think it's a substantial amount. I would say
That
about
person, but I don't even know if I have like I don't know. So you're saying that if you have one of those people that be saying, "Oh yeah, I see you all the time,"
yeah, yeah, yeah. You can say don't say fuck the 90,000. Say I see you all the time,
I don't have
right?
nobody
That's
that
what I
say
said
that I
to
see you. I don't really have nobody that say they see me all the time.
right. But I'm saying for the question, right? How many times would you think that they see you? Yeah.
Okay, okay. So this is a hypothetical, just
Yes, yes. This is
Okay,
not.
my
This is
bad.
not.
Okay, sorry. No.
I should have said that as a hypothetical question.
So I saw. Okay, so somebody say they see me all the time, I would think that they see me at Okay, let's do the minimum.
Yes.
The minimum, bro, is once a month, steady. Once a month, steady. But that's me.
Yeah. I like that. I would say twice in 1 month, twice, but the succession of times were very close together.
Right.
Like you seen them on Friday and then you seen them on Monday. Bro, I see you all the time, fam.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Were
Yeah.
you
Yeah. Yeah.
fo- were
Yeah.
you following me, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? That was like Yeah, because you know. But yeah, man, I thought that was
Oh, wait. So this doesn't even have to be a friend or anybody. It's just somebody that you just happen to run in. Like okay. I'm starting to see this question from a few different angles now,
right.
because yeah. Because for me, you gotta understand. Like for the longest time, you know what I'm saying. Not driving, I
You're
used
seeing
to see
people.
all the people used to be like, "Yo, dog," because and you know me, like, so we have family everywhere, right?
Right.
I got fam in Pickering. I have fam in over here. Then I was working two jobs, and then all of this stuff. So, and I'm going around like this. So then, and the crazy part about it is that I worked with drivers and stuff, right? When I was doing cross docking and stuff like that. So the drivers is driving all around the city. Then they're seeing me. They're like, "Bro, why do I
Why
see
am I
you
seeing you?
everywhere, bro?
Right.
Everywhere."
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's a little bit of a different conversation, but it's something that but now I'm starting to see it from an angle of like, you know how you just see people sometimes all the time? You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
Regardless of if you guys are close or not, but there's certain people that you just see all the time. Like, oh, we go
Right.
for walks. We go for walks around the same time, or whatever. You know,
Right. Because
or
because there's people that you see that you don't really see.
that's right.
What I mean,
That's
what I
right.
mean is like, your gas station attendant,
Right.
your food spots. You see them, but you don't really see them like that. And it would be different if you seen them outside of work, because then you'd be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? It's almost odd.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be at work. So, and if you're seeing that person who you know them from work, like a spot or something like that, you see them outside twice, dog, I'm
Yeah.
seeing you everywhere, bro. What?
I'm seeing you
So,
everywhere.
because it's that, so that's what I was kind of getting at, but I think you ended up getting it, like what I meant, because
No
remember we used
doubt.
to go out, we'd be on the road when we was younger, and we would see X everywhere, like, yo, X, what are you doing here, bro? Or I just seen X over here. I was here, X downtown, or dog, I was at this place. I seen X. I'm like, yes, you know. So there,
Yeah.
there,
Yeah. I was definitely one of those guys that people would just see me and be like, "Yo, what? What are you doing over here?" Like, just and again, like kind of going back to like, what I said before about like moving around a lot as a kid, like that also contributed huge fact. Like that was a huge contributing factor. Um, Saga,
jeez,
Rex,
right. So I'm saying,
East, like everywhere, bro. Like just I
right.
was always like, so a lot of people would just see me sometimes. Sometimes I'd be at the mall. Yo, people see me so much that, and shout to my man Jay Gunner, you know what I'm saying? People used to think that we looked a lot alike, right? And and
Tolerance
I
for sure.
remember, right? And then I remember people, and I remember one time I was in the mall, bro, and and I was on my phone or some shit, and then Jay was walking ahead of me, and then by the time I look up, I see one of the niggas from the block, like one of the niggas from my building, and he's looking, he's like, and I see this look on his face. He's like, "Yo, what the fuck is going on right now?" He's like, "Bro," I'm laughing. I'm like, "What's going on?" He's like, "Yo, I see him first. I'm thinking it's you. Then I get closer. I realize it's not you. Then I see you behind the nigga. Like, what the fuck is going on, bro?" Like, that's the type. Like, those are the things that that always happens to me. Like, it's always something about somebody seeing me or somebody seeing somebody that looks just like me, and then they see me right after, like shit like that, bro.
Yeah, man, that
So
shit is wild, fam. You
wild.
know what I'm saying? So yo, you're at your you're at your best friend's wedding, right? You are at your wedding. Your best friend gets up to give a speech. In his speech, he mentions that when y'all met, he was messing with her. Then he stopped. What are you doing?
At the wedding,
Yeah,
I had
he's
to
getting
take
up.
my
That's the
shit
best
off,
man.
bro.
That's the best man speech. He's standing up. Yeah.
And he reveals this, like that's like That's almost like that movie, The Best Man. Except he didn't do it in a speech. He wrote it in the book.
Oh, that's even worse. That just stands like the test of time. Imagine it's a bestseller book. The fuck?
Well, regardless, I don't care if 2 motherfuckers bought that book, bro. Like, I'm going for those 2 books and burning them.
John Wick 5, dog. Fuck. Equalizer 6. Like, what the fuck?
But I'm no cap though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna get the shit annulled as soon as possible. I don't even know how I'm gonna react in the moment, but I know
Mm.
that I feel like the first thing in my head is like, okay, I'm getting this shit annulled. First thing in
Mm.
my head is like, because you gotta act quick after you get married when it comes to this shit. If you want to get something annulled, it's gotta be fast. And I know that there's a lot of fucking hoops and jumps to get over and stuff like that when it comes to um marriage and shit and getting out of one. Like I know that, bro, you hear people talking about it all the time. You got the guys at work that been through the divorce, and when another guy is going through it at the same time, you see them talking. He's like, "Yup, trust me, man, this is gonna be rough for you. It took me years. I'm still dealing with it." Like these are the things that you hear from people that went and got married and then got properties with women and all of this stuff, and
Tangled
it's
it up and
so
mixed it up.
nasty. It can be so nasty, bro. And then that's why I don't blame these guys when they say no paperwork and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, because
Yep.
it's just so ugly, bro. And then when you get, oh man, it's terrible, bro. The lawyers, the lawyer fees, the like, what are we doing here? What is this? What is this?
And getting into something like that, like you can never get into like yeah, the fact that you know when you add emotion, this is why I don't like to make deals with shotties because it's like when they get cheesed, it's game over, fam. Like they're not playing nice, so they're not trying to do that. So it's just okay, forget that, bro. We're not gonna do this
Right.
because once you add that emotion to it, it's not like you know what I'm saying. The contract don't matter, fam. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking you for everything. Bro, I knew this one thing. I knew this one thing, bro. Seeing it's called white thing when I was out in the east and shit like that, and she had a baby father, right? That left her for a bitch with one arm. And let me tell you, this one arm bitch was a bad bitch, bro. Well, just one arm though. I think it was the left joint. You know what I'm saying? It was the left joint. You know what I'm saying? And
So did she have the prosthetic joint, or she just
no,
had
this is the clean
the
eyes,
stub,
like you know what I
just the
mean?
clean stub?
The clean eyes, like there's just like one of these, fam. You know what I'm saying? She's just like,
Born like that? Born like that, or lost it?
I, it's vague, but I think she was born like that with the one eyes. You know what I mean? Either way, this girl that I was dealing with, she was just like, yeah, bet I'm taking this nigga for everything, like anything I can get from this guy. The man, I think there was like a range she could take him from like 5 to like 7 or 800. She's like, I want the max. That's it. Done. I don't care. And I was just like, holy fuck, bro. So yeah,
Well, imagine if they was married. I mean, that's just obviously
like
there's
a baby,
obligations with
right? That's
kids
like a
too.
dick pussy shit right there. You know what I mean? That's not no marriage. That's not. You know what I'm saying? Could have taken you for more. You know? Fuck.
Yeah, man.
I I'm definitely for the union of like us making a contract, us having everybody around, and still under God claiming that yo, you're my woman and I'm your man. Sounds corny as fuck. And yeah, that we're dedicated, but I don't want to involve the law. I'm sorry. I don't want to do that. Like we can deal with this much better outside of that. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
so definitely in this speech scenario, it's like had you told me before and I could have digested it, you leave that option up to me, then maybe there's a wedding. But at the wedding, fam, what if do I look like a fucking asshole to you? This is done, fam. This was a nice little party, guys. Guess we're not gonna go through with it. Just some enjoy this night as much as you can, and you know, done. Because there's nothing, you know, like uh,
Bro,
there's so many questions. Like, why is my homeboy like? Why didn't you tell me if I'm like, you know? And that's why I stopped showing niggas like girls I was fucking with because like you know now your fucking brethren know your wife's bomb. She looks like that. That's not it. You know what I'm saying? It's not.
oh,
That's
that's
really not
never, yeah, that is not it, bro. That is not it.
it. And then, so I just stopped doing that for years now. But so nah,
You
man.
know how many niggas showed me that, bro, in the beginning, and then it's like now you going wife is gonna you put me in this. Oh yeah, let's all hang out. Like, what are you doing to me right now? Like, why would you
But
do that to? Why would you put me in that position? Like,
like I
you
ain't
showed
see.
me this video, and now you want us to all hang out. Like, what's wrong with you, niggas, man?
You just, I'm just, I gotta get you out of my head. Like, get out,
I
man.
don't even. Yeah, bro. That's why. And I mean, we kind of had a conversation about this the other day, man. It's just like that's why it's just like, yo, bro. That's why I think that's what scarred me, and that's why like I don't even look at certain niggas. Like I don't even look at. I'll have a conversation with you, but I'm not really even looking at you. I'm not even looking at you. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I've seen it, fam. I've seen it, and I respect the fuck out of it because I do the same shit, bro. Because it's like, it's just, no, fam,
No,
no.
and it has
No,
nothing to do with if the joint is my speed or not. It really doesn't matter. I'm just
it's
like,
not.
no, I don't need to. Nah,
It's
bro.
your family, like your
Yeah,
family,
like you're
and
there, like you're there,
it's
and
like
that's
you
it,
know, it's been one,
no doubt.
and that's it. You know what I mean? So I'm
That's
not
it.
pre like I don't pre. I'm not around no scumbag niggas who are preying like thing like that. Like I don't understand what that environment's like. Like I do, but I'm not staying in that. So that's a waste you thing, fam. So you're like to like you smashed it, like y'all were together, which is a form of intimacy, like you were intimate, and then what? So hold on, wait. So hold on, wait. So hold on. So hold on. You thought that what I couldn't handle it, like y'all shit was so good that we have to stop this. You and you get the yo that would cheese me, fam. We have to stop this. What do you mean we have to stop this, yo, bro?
That
That's
what you just told me right there. I almost threw this fucking tripod off the fucking balcony, bro. Like I just had a vision of me just tossing somebody off, bro. That right there, what you just said, fam. Oh my fucking goodness. We have to stop. Yo, oh my, yo, somebody is gone, bro. Somebody's gone.
nah, bro. And then you reveal like, you know what I'm saying? You can do what you want to me, but like you're gonna disrespect me in front of my moms, bro. You know, your family, bro. You're gonna do that,
Moms.
fam. You never cared, fam. Now we have to scrap at this place that we have to fucking do. And it's not no bitch ass shit like, oh, you're fighting over a girl or whoa, no, that bitch
No,
is
it's
done.
that's
She's
blatant
done.
disrespect. You waited until this moment to tell me this?
What the fuck?
Damn.
Yo.
I'm frozen.
I
Yo.
don't even know. Did they kick him out?
Oh man, this should always be freezing, bro.
But yeah, that's what's up.
Bro, this technical difficulty shit today is
All right,
real,
man.
bro.
It's been another episode of the motherfucking Breakfast Grim. Here with your boy AK, I guess. Love got kicked
You're
out.
such a baby,
Y'all
Lily.
tap in with us. Don't worry.
Like, what's wrong with you, man?
Y'all have a blessed one. We done.